Back to Talk of the Town, and guess who I have with us today? Rex Garniewicz. You know Rex? He's the man. The Coastal Discovery Museum. He's the CEO there. Hi, Rex.
Hi, good morning.
We're talking butterflies. I'm so intrigued. Would you hold this up?
Yeah, so these are some chrysalises of monarch butterflies, and this one's about to hatch. I'm hoping it'll hatch out while we're on camera, and this is a normal one that's just been formed. And they're really fascinating insects. And we have this great habitat at the museum, the Wertheimer butterfly habitat, that I think is one of our most popular attractions in the summer, because kids and families can go in there and just be surrounded by butterflies.
It is. It's just amazing, and that at all stages.
Yes.
So you can see the.
Yeah, so we have in the habitat, we have a lot of volunteers that will come in and actually feed our caterpillars. So all of the butterflies that we have there are native, and we have native plants. This is a native milkweed plant, and the caterpillars will feed on this. They'll form a chrysalis, and then they'll hatch into one of these beautiful butterflies. And so these are all the species, the 8 species that we have in our butterfly habitat. And because they're in this enclosure, they live their full lives there. They lay eggs, and like all butterflies, they eventually die. And so these are butterflies that have died naturally in our habitat.
So what is the lifespan? So from birth basically till they pass, are we talking years or months?
No. I mean, over the course of a year, we'll have 5 generations of caterpillars and butterflies in our habitat. And even the monarchs, these monarchs, which are famous for their migration to Mexico every year and then their migration back up north, a single individual doesn't do that. They pass through several generations on their migration south and then again on their migration north. And so with our habitat, one of the things that we see is when there's changes, seasonal changes, the butterflies arrive later to Coastal Discovery Museum. And so this year we had a cold spring, and so the butterflies were a little bit late, but now they're here and we have all the plants to support them, and it's a great thing to come to at the museum.
And you have wonderful programs. So go through we were talking earlier, the Monday, the Tuesday, the Wednesday.
Yeah, so we have, most days, we have a lot of programs, but the one specifically to butterflies is on Mondays at 9:30. We have Bugs and Blooms, and that's a family-friendly program that talks about insects and plants and how they interact with each other, and why it's important for us to also care for the environment and plants if we want butterflies. And so one of the things people ask is, how do I get butterflies like this in my garden? You let them eat your plants, and so your plants are full of holes, and that's how you get the butterflies. But there's specific species of plants that are host plants and nectar plants for butterflies, and we talk about that. And then we have a program on Tuesdays at 10 and 11 called Wonderful Wings, which is really aimed at preschoolers, and it's about a half-hour long program. And so if you have young kids, that's a great program to come to. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, we have a butterfly learning lab set up in the butterfly habitat. And so it's actually in there. And so you can be in the butterfly habitat, learn about butterflies there. And that's the same day that we have our critters program. And so you can then also go and see the alligators and snakes and all the other things.
But probably space is limited, right? You have to make a reservation.
Yeah, so the butterfly learning station, you don't need to make a reservation for. The other ones, Wonderful Wings, you should make a reservation for. And then Bugs and Blooms, which is on Monday, is a ticketed program. But after that program, we have this great creature craft, which is a free program in our Sea Island room of the museum, where kids can use craft materials to make a creature, whatever it is. Sometimes it's a butterfly, sometimes it's a jellyfish, and so we have all these craft materials, and the kids they have fun in there. So on Mondays, that's a great day to bring kids to the museum.
And so are you getting more tourists this year, or is it you get a lot of residents? What is kind of the mix in the summer?
I would say that we have about the same number of tourists that we had last year.
Okay.
And a lot of people are tourists or grandkids that are visiting, grandparents.
Right.
But we've seen a change in that there are some younger families on Hilton Head Island and Bluffton that have discovered the museum, and they're bringing their kids there, and they feel like it's their place, to bring the kids and have fun and explore nature. And so we've got a good mix of locals and visitors.
Thank you, Rex. Rex Garniewicz with the Coastal Discovery Museum. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.